Assalamu alaikum and hello to my non-Muslim viewers. So I've been this year, ever since the beginning of 2019, I've been collecting comic books and I've been investing in comic books. And pretty soon, I'm going to be, or in a few days, I'm going to be selling my comic book collection. So I just want to show what I've acquired this entire year. All these comics that I'm about to present, I bought in 2019 this year from eBay, from comic book stores, some various comic book stores, and things like that. So I just want to show off what I got, and I'm going to be putting them on eBay, and hopefully I'll get a pretty good amount for the individual comics I'll be selling. So, anyways, I just want to show off my collection, what I bought this entire year, since investing in comic books seems to be a good idea, since the value of comic books always goes up. It's not like a stock, right? If you buy a stock, it can go up, it can go down, it can go, in circles, it can stay the same. So the stock market's kind of like a gamble. It's kind of risky in that regards. But comic books or especially comic books from the 80s, the 60s, the 70s, and even the 90s are always a good investment because they always increase in value. They don't really decrease if they're in good condition. So, anyways, I want to show what kind of comic books I've gotten this entire year. So the first one would be this one, Amazing Spider-Man, number one. Number one by Todd McFarlane. This one, this one's a pretty rare edition because it's number one. And Todd McFarlane wrote and drew it, so this is the first one I got. Then I got the silver edition. This one's worth a little bit more. They did three editions of this. One's the silver, one's the gold, one's the platinum, one's the I'm sorry, four versions of this. One's the silver, one's the gold, one's the regular cover, which you just saw, and the other's the Platinum edition. So this is a silver version. This is worth, I got this for $8, and I looked it up, and this is worth, around $320. So I'm hoping to sell this for, you know, that amount, or even maybe $350. Hopefully somebody buys it, because on eBay now you don't even have to bid on eBay. You can just say buy it now, and people will buy it for whatever price you put. So hopefully I can get around $350 for this, because this is in mint condition. Um, then I've been also buying or investing in old school or Silver Age Spider-Man comics, and Silver Age Superman, and the comics, and Detective Comics. Detective Comics, of course, being the home of Batman, or the comic book of Batman. But anyways, it's the Amazing Spider-Man, number 48, where Vulture comes back. Hopefully you can see it. The glare is not obstructing the view. So this is in fair condition. This isn't. I'm sorry. This is in near good condition. This is kind of like this is in fair condition. I'll just put it that way. As you can see, like some of it's ripped off, the cover's ripped off, and things like that. The cover's coming out, and you can see some damage right here. You can see some damage right here. So this comic's in fair condition. So hopefully I can get. I'm hoping at least $50 for this. So I'm putting that for $50 on eBay. Buy now price. This comic book, Amazing Spider-Man number 54, is in better condition because as you can see, the cover's not coming out, and so this is in better condition. This was actually graded by the comic book store that I bought this from, and they graded it at a 6.0. So that means this is worth probably around $80, $90, $100, somewhere around there. So I'm probably going to be putting in for at least $85 or $90. Hopefully somebody bites and buys it. There's a 6.0, so it's in good condition. And the Amazing Spider-Man number 197. This I also got at a comic book store. I don't know I don't remember the value. I got to look it up, but hopefully I can get like $20 for this, or maybe even a little bit more. This one's my favorite. This one's The Amazing Spider-Man number 267. It's just a really funny story. I got this for like $4. I don't think I'll be selling this one. I think I'm going to keep this one because the story is just so. It's pretty funny. It's where Spider-Man goes into a suburb or a neighborhood and he realizes the people in the neighborhood are just freaking nuts. So I really like this story. So I think I'm just going to be holding on to that one. This I got for $1 at a comic book store. Then I looked up the value, and it's around like $10, $12. So I definitely got a bargain out of this. So I'm hoping to sell it for at least $15 or $20 or something like that. It isn't mint condition. I looked it up. I looked it up online. A mint condition sells for around $15 to $20, something like that. So hopefully I can get that amount or even more, on eBay. This is the milestone. This is The Amazing Spider-Man number 800. This came out, I believe, last year. So I got this at a comic book store, and I didn't read the digital print or anything. I'm hoping I can get at least $12 for this. Is worth $10, so maybe a few more dollars more than I paid for. That's what I'm hoping. So I got another Todd McFarlane Spider-Man. Hoping to get a few dollars out of this. I'm probably not going to go for more than $5 or $6, but we'll see. This is the amazing. This is Spider-Man number 10. I'm hoping to get a few $100, or I'm sorry, a few dollars for this, maybe $10, $20, something like that. Now we're done with Spider-Man. Now we're going to go into Action Comics. This is Action Comics number 359. This isn't in that good condition. It's in fair condition. As you can see, like some crease marks on the side and things like that. And there's some damage on the cover, but hopefully I can get maybe like $20, $30 for this. Because this is Action Comics number 359. So it's one of the earlier Action Comics. So the comics from this is from the '60s, and same with the earlier Amazing Spider-Man books you saw. So comic books from the '60s would be the Silver Age of comic books. So those go for quite a bit if they're in good condition. But this isn't in good condition, so I'm hoping maybe I'll get like $10, $15 for it, maybe 20. I don't know if I'm lucky. So this is the John Bryan revamp of Superman Man of Steel number 1. Hoping to get a few dollars for this. I got this at a comic book store. So this is a pretty important issue for Superman because he completely rebooted Superman. He completely rewrote the character. So the character's origins were kind of changed, and Superman was depowered. He wasn't like a godlike figure. He was like his powers were significantly watered down or stripped down. John Bryan's Superman was actually, it's like a more realistic take of Superman. It kind of grounded Superman and Clark Kent and stuff like that. But I think the thing John Bryan is famous for is making Clark Kent like the identity and Superman's the mask. So like Clark Kent's the person, and then Superman's just what he does, as they say in the Lois and Clark TV show. So he made Clark Kent the main character or the main persona, and Superman was just something Clark Kent did, but it didn't define him. Clark Kent was just Clark Kent. Being Superman was just something he did, on the side. So I really like that they put more emphasis on Clark Kent instead of the Superman. I mean, if you read before this whole relaunch, before the Crisis on Infinite Earths thing and everything like that, in the earlier Action Comics, for the first I think 300 or 500 issues, or maybe 600 issues, there was always an emphasis that Superman was a real persona and Clark Kent was just a mask. So Superman was a real person, and Clark Kent was something he did on the side. It was just like, but it wasn't him. Like his persona was Superman, and then only, you know, only on the side he was Clark Kent. So Superman was a real person in those, golden age of comic books or silver age, and back in the 50s, 60s, and 40s and 70s, and then John Bryan in the 80s completely reversed the process, or he had an opposite approach. So Clark Kent was the real person, and Superman was something he did. And I really like that. So I mean, this is a pretty good series. I'm hoping to get a few dollars out of this. Sorry, I'm a big Superman fan, so I just get into that. So there's number two where he introduces Lois Lane as manipulative and kind of selfish, in order to get a interview with Superman. Superman just falls for it. I think it was like, I think after I read this, I became MGTOW. MGTOW men going their own way. So, this is a classic depiction of not only Lois Lane but how women behave and things like that in order to get what they want. So this is a Man of Steel, number six. This is the sixth part of it. Where he goes back to Smallville and then he realizes his origins. I think the TV show Smallville adapted some things over here because that's Lana Lang. Oops, that's Lana Lang right there, and Lana Lang plays a big part in the Smallville TV show, and that's Jor-El. And Jor-El also plays a big part on the Smallville TV show. But anyways, I really like this comic book. I don't think I'll sell it, but if I do, I'll probably get like $5 for it if I'm lucky. It doesn't really sell for that high. And this one's kind of like this one's a pretty good issue. It's pretty funny because Lex Luthor figures out that Clark Kent is Superman, but then he just doesn't want to admit it, right? It's just his pride and ego, where it just lets his pride and ego that say that no, there's no way this computer's wrong. There's no way Clark Kent would be Superman. I mean, Superman would just be Superman. Why does he need a secret identity? So I think it's pretty funny that Lex Luthor figured out his identity, but didn't know that his computer was right. Oh, I'm sorry, Lex Luthor's computer figured out that Clark Kent is Superman, or Superman is Clark Kent, but Lex Luthor, out of pride and ego and slight stupidity, denies it, even though his computer's right. So I think that's funny that it's always his pride and Lex's pride and ego that brings him down. It's Superman's selfishness and heroism that always prevails over Lex Luthor's pride and arrogance and ego. So this is just like one of the classic stories of Lex Luthor's pride and ego just bringing him down. So it's a really good story, and I don't think I'll sell it, but if I sell it, I'll probably get a few dollars for it, maybe. But I don't. I kind of don't want to. I kind of want to hold on to it. Oh, this one. This one's the big one. This is where Superman dies. This is where Doomsday literally kills Superman. This is the issue where Superman dies, and this is an open copy, as you can see. It's kind of open, but it came in when DC had this. They had they put it on a special bag and things like that. And I think they did that so people would buy two copies. People would buy one for keeping and the other for opening and reading and stuff like that. So it would be like their DC was pretty clever in their marketing. They wanted to sell their I think they did that on purpose so it would entice, or they were hoping like the readers would buy two copies, one copy for keeping and one copy for reading. So I think that's pretty clever on their part. So this was big in the '90s. There was like news stories on this. Channel 7 did a story on it. I think Channel 4 or NBC did a story on it, if I'm remembering correctly. And this was big in the '90s. This comic book, this was huge in the '90s. So I'm just lucky enough to get it. I'm hoping maybe I'll get like $20 for it or something like that. Another big comic in the '90s was Spawn. So I got Spawn number 11, one of the earlier Spawn comics. I think Todd McFarlane did this one. Yep, Todd McFarlane drew, and I think he wrote it. So this, I'm hoping I'll get like maybe $5 or $10 out of this. So this one's because this one's a pretty good near mint condition copy. I'm not a really big Spawn fan, but I like Todd McFarlane's art. I think he's a really talented artist. He's not a good writer, but he's a pretty good artist. So I think a lot of comic book fans would agree with me on that. This one's pretty nice. This one's Crisis on Infinite Earth. The Arrowverse did a TV crossover, or they adapted the story for their TV show, and yeah, this is the first issue. This is the issue that started it all. So I got this for $10. I'm hoping I'll sell it, for a little bit more, maybe 20 or something like that. This is a near mint condition copy. This is like I don't know, 8.5 or 9.0 because it's clearly mint. It's a mint condition copy and things like that. So I'm hoping I'll get at least $20 for it, maybe 25 or something like that. So hopefully that sells quite a bit. And then we got Detective Comics. Detective Comics 330. Fallen Idol of Gotham City. So I think this is from the '60s. I got this online. I got this from actually eBay. So I'm hoping I'll sell it for a little bit more. I don't remember how much I got it for, but I'm hoping I'll probably get like $30 or $40 out of this since it's in good condition. Good fair condition, good or very fine condition. So I'm hoping I'll get some money for this. So thanks for watching. This is my comic book collection. I'm hoping I'll get some money and invest in more comic books and sell it on eBay. So I'm opening my eBay store. Maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow. I got to take pictures of that and reassess the quality again, and things like just to make sure what I'm saying online is what I'm selling online. So I gotta double check everything. So hopefully tomorrow or day after tomorrow we'll be putting that stuff online. So stay tuned. Some more videos are coming up ahead. Thanks all.